Hello, welcome to this moment right now here on Tech Club Map. Um, I'm just working here behind the scenes to start what is step by step, how protocols make it slower, but it's very important to see what is the original storytelling from the people, the members of organization, the goodwill to make betterment for people's life. I want to remember here my friend who passed away when I was homeless 1 year ago. I would just walk through this street, try to bring him to the shelter in winter. The beautiful English gentleman just drinking and being in peace with himself, and she had a glorious smile. He would just be with a beer and carrying his suitcase. So he will have food here in this church. So I will ask them about him, what happened. They must know him well. In his spirit, he really liked to be left on his own. So there must be a bridge between what's going on with this escaping from the pain of life to reach solace and free spirit where no one can hurt you or push you again. I like to talk here in Tech Globe Map on a personal level, because I am just working behind the scenes. It is my life in my generation, and I like to look at myself and study the situation. What is it that I'm projecting? What is it that is mine? Or what is it that's from the environment I am? What is it from my family heritage that I got from some grandparent, the tragedy to convert, which is a story of transformation through tragedy. And these are stories that happen. There are accidents. You cannot just blame the government or blame a doctor or want to make new laws because one dog was chasing your child and there was no adult around. And they're just accidents that happen. So just because of a few, then everyone has to go through metal machines and check all the suitcases in their airports. But billions of people transiting. I bring all those statistics just because a few hijack airplane. The percentage would be like just because of few accidents, let's say social accidents, natural accidents made by mankind with purpose and allegory in order to control and put everyone on the same board, which it should come naturally by people's free will to be agreeable. But there are people that are against. There are people who are rebellious towards certain a harmony and order that benefits the world, because they have also their backstories and traumas, and they believe it's true and right to do something bad. Either way, we do have these tragedies. But for me, it's very important to just track my journey into how is it working to map this through what does it require. So I don't want to talk about the name of the organization. I don't want to talk about the names. I just want to talk about the experience. I don't want to promote homelessness so people know where to go, because I know there are some nomads that go from place to place. Maybe there are just a few. Maybe they're just, statistically, I would say, depending. In Ibiza, there are more, of course. And in places where they have more charity, people turn to go to these places from the country, as I've seen in Victoria, Canada, because of the weather as well. I would love you to know, as a form of prayer, even if you're not there, still a form of prayer throughout my work, to report and pray to God, a non-existing being, to give me strength, to bring me gratefulness for my children that I still have and they're healthy, my mother and sister that are alive and well cared, to also make it happen for myself, because I can be judged as well as a person that's been a marginal and has been homeless, and I could be given a chance to work until it works, or be respected to work is already a privilege, when we should cherish our work, what we love to work. And also so much creativity and things that I want to do that are abnormal for the times being. Each time requires something to do, and I wish to do everything. I would love to talk to a fictional character that's super powerful, of course, and give it a name and say, why don't you do this? I was thinking about that, of course. It's not coming random. I study for script writing. And I represent women as a woman I am. I find there's so many men that are homeless. So many men. So it's also like watching the polarities, you know? What kind of man? There are many characters there. Interesting. I can totally see the opposite dynamic as well when you go deep into storytelling. Have multiverse options to put these characteristics of underworld beings, marginals, which in this country are quite healthy and well. So I'm grateful for the good people, of course. I'm very happy to walk home right now under the rain. When I feel that I have more story, if I fail to talk about him with his name, as time passes away, it's been just months or less than a year. I don't even know when. My other friend who passed away had nobody to go to the funeral, and is maybe still pending his body there, because there need to be procedures of payments. The family is not paying, and the sister is drunk and she cannot do it well. I had informed that it's been many months already in the morgue, and I have informed the sisters are drunk, so maybe cannot do the process well. So I'm not saying names here, I'm just explaining that it's difficult. It's very difficult for the forgotten. In therapy groups, there's a lot of work to honor those who've been pushed away for whatever reason, they're good or bad. All the healing comes for that, to regenerate a healing pattern of understanding, just understanding, so we can free ourselves in a new form of life. As well, I want to thank my daughter Debbie for talking with my other children, her siblings, and to have been formed as a therapist, even though she studied to be a manager, finding healing as a source of taking care of others, especially our family. And I want to thank all my family as well for everything they gave me and taught me. I believe socioeconomical influence of damaging a country is severe, and it should be always remembered to not do what the past has done. So this is my prayer, of course. I don't know about you, what are you doing? Maybe in the future, if you see this video, nothing of this is happening anymore. And we just have nomads that pay taxes. Okay, bye. With another type of system, of course, of working with their own schedule. It just links automatically the progress of working with society. I know things sell with the industry, material things, but we can also charge all that which is not about things. Because what does a garden bring money? Things like that. So it does embrace people to work better when they dance, when they paint, when they meet each other freely. Not that it has to be necessarily organized, everything in an automatic order. It's not a program thing, but something about it can transit as a value that just automatically progresses by its own system. And it's good to have a little bit of imagination to exhort good ideas in a good form, to transform, because some limitations have not been good enough. Family maybe has been too good, thinking they're too good. What if drinking is not the problem? What if drinking can be just accepted by society without the analyzing, judgmental of it? It has to be in this way. I know that after 5-7 years one gets used to the weathers outdoors when you're homeless. So you don't need a roof really. You already accept the weather and it does not hurt you or disturb you. But my father would say, the weather is in your mind to feel cold or too hot. So what it matters is that still we can have a commodity to better choices than just poor choices, to administrate towards the stars and higher states of consciousness is relating with one another, our values. When you make a society more valuable, those above have more value. So, well, that's it for today. I'm going to polish the project to upload it and clean my router that has a lot of viruses. I do need all my domains and websites because it does have an order, and I need to have the inspiration until the last domain just to be local. All right, I'm used to work in storylines, in multiverses, and enjoy my free range of imagination with my friends. We share the same imagination with the same rules to keep the imagination together of fantasy building. And it's very important for me to have that respect set in my own form of working. As I keep reporting here, I don't want viewers. I don't want many viewers. I am totally against that. I just want things to work. And you will know, maybe if you have listened to this, why. Because in the future, people are not going to be working or moving because of viewers. They're going to be enjoying more their life and producing in better forms of forming, designing, and starting to create better, more beautiful, igniting one another. So there will always be people that are well known, will achieve goals as heroes, but there will be much more of freestyle without creating so much content and image, more into the ground of the joys of this earth. That's what we do in our formal reality. Okay, so it's a lot of work to do today to also show Yoko the paper and maybe correct with her and show her how is the redirection of taxes and everything that we gotta learn for when we speak to people to assure we can make the budget to buy the building and help the organization above to let us make another form of organization or part of the organization to also have revenue to live. For example, not walk under the rain for 3 hours to come here and volunteer. So it does take a lot of, I would say heart, because that's what you have left and still pumping, thanks to the good people who helped me be alive, of course. So I own them. Bye. So the next word of next week from Climax, which is from the inside this week. So it's a climax that's just like from the inside of your heart. I'm just looking at these two words, synergy and mandatory. So we still have the cover and the scenario. And I wanted to bring mandatory to the cover. So, because it's like the front line of your brain in the forehead. So it's so like it's still in the cover between what you see from the outside and your interaction. That's mandatory. So interesting to put that on the stage for what's mandatory. Not only in a local form, also on a global stage for what's mandatory for countries that are at war, on a universal mandatory reason for these wars that are happening. It's not about winning, but what's mandatory to follow human rights is mandatory to have certain respects for that. If you think that some leaders of the world cannot take care of their people, and they're being told to work in this way. If not, they're being taken over. It's mandatory. It's a universal law. So societies, people with mental illness think a certain way because of all these beliefs. There are problems. In the long run, you'll see that's not the way to be. We can be in so many ways, of course, it's universal love. Yet how much easier it is to have a healthy body and mind in society with one another. So it's good to check in and think about it. So thank you for all the people that I watch online and might not hear me. And I do hear and listen to them for so many years. They inspire me. So I started talking and just filming and thinking in my own what's necessary to do. Besides just talking. It's not a behavioral panel of one-by-one interaction or monologue. It's a bit more than that, what we're going and moving towards. So yeah, it's like a sports team, what we're moving. This is the next stage. We know this in role play, all right? But it has to be in real life. Peace and cats.